In this video, I talk about the 6 reasons why you won't get big and bulky if you lift weights as a marathon runner. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tony Johnson. I've helped hundreds of runners train for half and full marathons by incorporating strength training into their routine. And what I found, well, you'll be able to see for yourself in this video. So I hope you enjoyed this training. 6 reasons why you won't get big and bulky and look like the Hulk if you lift weights as a marathon runner. Now, I've talked to thousands of runners and worked with hundreds, and one of the things I hear a lot is that people don't want to get big and bulky, and that if they lift weights, they think they're going to gain weight and gain a bunch of muscle, and their arms are going to be too big, and that it's going to slow them down as a runner. And the thing about that is, it's actually very difficult to get big and bulky, to put on muscle, to get stronger. And I've been trying, right? I grew up tall, skinny kid. I had the basketball looking physique. Think of a Kevin Durant, tall and skinny. And for my entire life, I wanted to get big and bulky. I wanted to look like the Hulk or the professional bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so what I decided to do was I would study them, thinking, okay, if I copied their workouts, did what they said, then I would get bigger, stronger, and transform my physique. Now, obviously, I was never going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger because there's so many other variables that go into getting bigger and stronger, which I'll talk about here in a sec. But I thought that if I copy them, I would at least start going down the path and putting on muscle, which is definitely true. But to the point where you're big and bulky, it's just simply not. And so what I would do is I would watch their content, their videos for hours upon hours every single day. I would have their workout pulled up on my phone. Then I would walk into the gym. I would press play on that workout. I would see what exercises they were doing, the reps, the sets, how much weight they were lifting. And then I would try to do it in the gym. And then I would press pause, watch the next video and exercise that they were doing. And then I would try to emulate that in the gym. And I did this every single day. I did this for about 2 hours, give or take. Each workout was about 2 hours. And this is something I did for years. And now I've been lifting weights for 10 plus years to try to get stronger, try to put on muscle, put on size, and really achieve that big and bulky physique that so many people don't want to get. And the reasons why you will never get big and bulky is, number one, simply you don't have the genetics. If you ever listen to the bodybuilders, the professionals, and people will ask them, how do you get to where you are? How did you get so big and strong? How did you put on so much muscle? How did you get so strong? And the number one thing they say, all of them say this, is that it's genetics. And if you don't have the genetics for it, well, you simply won't get big and bulky. And you can tell, if you have the genetics to get big and bulky. For me, I personally don't have the genetics, and I get more of a lean physique, so I'll put on lean muscle, but I simply just don't have the genetics. And chances are you don't have the genetics either, because the professionals, the ones that are the best in the world, all of them say that this is 1% of the 1% genetics. It's like winning the lottery, essentially. Like, those are the type of genetics you have, and you'd be able to tell if you had them, obviously. And so the biggest thing is you simply just don't have the genetics. Now, the second thing is food, in that you're most likely 99% sure you're not eating enough food. Now, the professionals, they'll eat minimum 6 meals a day, sometimes up to 10 meals a day. They'll eat every 2 to 3 hours, and they'll eat full-size meals. And so if you're only eating 3 meals a day and a snack, well, you simply aren't eating enough food to actually get big and bulky, because lifting weights is part of the equation, but nutrition and the food you eat is another part. And you have to feed your muscles, and so they actually can grow and recover. And if you're under eating, or you're eating the same amount of food you're eating right now, well, you're not going to be able to feed the muscle. And so unless you're eating 6, 7, 8 meals a day, then you're not going to be eating enough food to actually get big and bulky and look like the Hulk. Now, the third thing is you're not doing enough volume, right? The professionals, they'll lift weights 7 times a week, maybe take a day off here and there, but it's usually 7 times a week. Sometimes they'll work out twice a day, and they'll spend hours in the gym. They'll do 20, 30 sets per muscle group, and they'll just be in there all day. Like it's crazy. And if you're only working out 2 times a week, or you're lifting weights 3 times a week, you're in there for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, you simply aren't doing enough volume to get big and bulky. Now you'll see some muscle definitions, more tonality. You'll get stronger with lifting weights 3 times a week and doing it for 45 minutes. But to actually get big and bulky, it's something you have to do every day, all day, essentially. And then another thing is the intensity, right? If you're brand new to the gym, or you're about to start going to the gym and lift weights, well, there's a level of intensity. If you're brand new, you're just going to go through the motions. You're going to get used to it. You're going to use a little bit of a lighter weight. And what the professionals do is their intensity, if you think from a scale of 1 to 10, their intensity is at 8, 9, 10. Like if you ever watch, any of the professional bodybuilders, their workouts are extremely intense. They go to just about failure. They train legs, they're barely able to walk after. And so the intensity, it's an extreme level of intense where you kind of question if they're okay after their workouts. Like that's the level of intensity. It's absolutely crazy. I'll give you an example. Jay Cutler, he used to do squats until his nose started to bleed, right? That's the level of intensity that they would do. And if you're brand new, you're going to be less intensity. You're going to be going more through the motions. You're just going to be getting used to it. And so you're not even really going to, get to the point where you're doing enough volume and intensity. And another factor is it takes many years, right? If you're brand new and you've only been working out for a couple weeks or a couple months, then you're on a journey that's to actually get big and bulky. We're talking decades, right? I've been lifting weights for 10 years, probably 12 years now. And, I'm still not anywhere near where I want to be of size and strength. And the professionals, they've been lifting weights for 20, 30, 40 years, right? And so if you're just getting started, to actually get big and bulky, think in decades, not days. And then lastly is the steroids, right? If you're natural, you're going to have a cap of how big, how strong you can get. And what most don't tell you, or what you don't see, is that the professionals are on steroids. They take testosterone, they take Anavar, D-bol, right? They take all these different types of steroids to get bigger and stronger. And so if you're not doing any of these, right? If you don't have the genetics, if you're not eating enough, if you're not doing enough volume in the gym, you're not doing with enough intensity, you haven't been doing it for years, and you're not taking any steroids, well, you're not doing what's required to get big and bulky. And so there's no worry about it, especially if you're brand new, you're miles and miles away from, getting anywhere near big and bulky. And so I wouldn't let the fear of getting big and bulky stop you from going to the gym. And so if you do go to the gym, right, here is the strength training splits and schedule that I would recommend and that I would start off with. I would do a pull day on Monday, right? That's back and that's biceps. I would do 5 exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, be in there for about 45 minutes. And then on Wednesday, be a leg day, quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves. Do another 5 or 6 exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, and then do your push day on Friday, chest, shoulders, triceps. Do 2 exercises for each. So 2 for chest, 2 for shoulders, 2 for triceps, 3 sets in the beginning, 8 to 12 reps. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, well, that's when you can run. But if you stick to this, then you're not going to get big and bulky. You're not going to gain weight. You're going to get stronger, but it's going to be minor. You're not really going to be able to tell. And what you'll notice is it's really going to help your performance in your running. You're going to notice you're going to be able to run farther. You're going to be able to run faster. You're going to be a strong runner, and it's going to help reduce injuries. And so don't let the fear of getting big and bulky stop you from working out in the gym. I hope you enjoyed this training.